Good morning, students. So today we can learn some facts about the heart. Okay. So heart external features plus if time is there I will take a blood supply also. So this is the heart. Here we can see this is our thoracic cavity. So on either side there will be right and left lungs, and middle part, this space is known as mediastinum. Okay, the space which is occupied by the heart and the blood vessels. Okay, this space between the two lungs and between the two pleura. Okay. So this space is known as mediastinum, and in the mediastinum we can see the heart which is covered with a covering that is known as pericardium. So if we remove the pericardium, here this is our diaphragm. This is our heart after remove the pericardium. Okay, so this is the heart, either side lungs, pleura, then this is pericardium. Okay. And this is our heart. So this is the anterior surface of the heart, which is known as sternocostal surface, and here we can see the chambers of the heart. So towards this right end, this purple color, this is our right atrium. So right atrium has a small ear-like projection. This is known as right auricle, and this is our right ventricle. This is left ventricle. Here above the right atrium we can see this is our superior vena cava, this is aorta, this is pulmonary trunk. Here also we can see a small projection, that is extension of the left atrium. This is known as left auricle. See, like this, right auricle, this is the left auricle, and left atrium can be seen in the posterior aspect, which forms the base of the heart. Okay, this left ventricle, we can see this is the left ventricle. So this point is known as apex of the heart. This is the apical part, apex of the heart. This is the posterior view. Here we can see this one. This is our left atrium. So this is the left atrium. This is the posterior aspect. Also we can see towards the right side, right atrium can be seen. This is superior vena cava. Here comes the inferior vena cava. So up to this is the right atrium. Then this one, posteriorly we can see this is our left atrium. So this left atrium forms the base of the heart. Okay. So this is the inferior surface or diaphragmatic surface. Okay. So these are the chambers of the heart. Okay. Here we can make out. This is inferiorly, we can see this is right ventricle, left ventricle, right atrium, left atrium. These are the four chambers of the heart. Okay. Then, so the right atrium and right ventricle are separated by a groove or sulcus that is known as atrioventricular sulcus or atrioventricular groove. Okay. This is this right side, so it is known as right atrioventricular groove or right atrioventricular sulcus. Okay. Then same like this, here we can see this groove between the two ventricles. This right ventricle, this is left ventricle. This is known as interventricular groove or interventricular sulcus. Okay. So this is in the anterior side. Here same like it is in the posterior also. This is the anterior interventricular sulcus or anterior interventricular groove. Okay. Then here we can see this is our left atrium and this is left ventricle. So between the left atrium and left ventricle again we can see a groove that is known as left atrioventricular groove. Left atrioventricular groove. Okay. Here also inferior posteriorly, and between the right and left ventricle there is again posterior interventricular groove. Okay. And here we can see there will be between the right atrium and the left atrium, between the right and left atrium there will be interatrial groove. Okay. So there will be interatrial groove, interventricular groove. So then atrioventricular groove. So these are the three grooves. So if we are seeing the interior part, the interior portion, this part forms the septum. Okay. Outside we can see the grooves. inner portion, the place of the groove, there will be septa, which separate the chambers, which separates the cavity of the chambers. And features of the right atrium. So this is the right atrium, you can see. So the right atrium, right atrium externally towards the right side, we can see a depression or sulcus can be seen between the opening of superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava. This is known as sulcus terminalis. Sulcus terminalis. The upper part of the sulcus terminalis, we can see the SA node. SA node can be seen in the upper part of the sulcus terminalis. Then if we cut open the right atrium, so this is the interior of the right atrium. You can see if we cut through the sulcus terminalis, the right atrium interior is divided into three parts. Anteriorly there is a roughened part, then posteriorly there is a smooth part, and there is a septal part. Three parts can be seen. This anterior part is known as sinus venerum, pectinate part. Pectinate part, inside the pectinate part we can see same like the sulcus terminalis. Inside of the sulcus terminalis there will be a ridge can be seen. This is known as crista terminalis. Crista terminalis. So from the crista terminalis we can see ridges, muscular ridges going towards the interior. So this is known as musculae pectinate. Musculae pectinate. Okay, muscular ridges, they make the anterior part rough. So this is musculae pectinate. This is known as crista terminalis. Crista terminalis. Okay, musculae pectinate or pectinate muscle. Okay, so that is the anterior part. In posterior half, the posterior part we can see the opening of superior vena cava. There is no valve, and inferior vena cava, which is guarded by a valve that is known as valve of Eustachian valve. Inferior vena cava is guarded by Eustachian valve, valve of the inferior vena cava. This is the valve, we can make out this white part. Then this is the opening of the coronary sinus, which is the largest vein of the heart, and it also guarded by a valve. We can see a white color portion, this one. This is the valve of the coronary sinus, that is known as the Bayesian valve. Valve of coronary sinus. So this is valve of inferior vena cava. Okay. So these are the features in the posterior part. Then in between there is a septal part. Septal part. In the septal part we can see a smooth part, and we can see there is a depression, oval shaped depression, that is known as fossa ovalis. This is fossa ovalis, and the margins are known as limbus fossa ovalis or annulus fossa ovalis. Limbus fossa ovalis or annulus fossa ovalis. Then so these are the features in the of the right atrium. Okay. So here we can see there will be small opening of the Eustachian the Bayesian veins. Small open. The Bayesian veins are the small veins which drains the walls of the heart. So they drains into the smooth posterior part. They also veins directly into the smooth posterior part, and there will be and in the auricle, so interior of the auricle also we can see this muscular pectinate, and it is rough. So these are the features in the interior of the right atrium. Then this is the right atrium. Here, this triangular shaped portion. So this is the right atrium, and in the upper part of the right atrium we can see the pulmonary trunk. So from the right atrium, the impure blood will reach the right ventricle. So the impure blood will be carried from the right ventricle to the pulmonary, carried by the pulmonary trunk. Okay. This is the pulmonary trunk. So this is the right atrium. This is the right atrium. This is the right ventricle. This is the interior of the right ventricle. So here we can see this conical shaped cavity. Yep. So here the interior of the right ventricle is divided into two parts. The lower roughened part, this is the inflowing part, and upper smooth part, this is known as outflowing part. So inflowing part and outflowing part. So this inflowing part is rough. due to the presence of trabeculae carneae. Trabeculae carneae. So trabeculae carneae make the lower portion rough. Okay. So trabeculae carneae, it is. So this is the term trabeculae carneae. Okay. Trabeculae carneae comprises of different structures. They are the bridges, ridges, and pillars. Okay. So ridges. You can see the ridges means here some projections can be seen in the atrial wall, ventricular walls, just projections. So they are known as ridges, just small elevations seen in the ventricular wall, that is known as ridges. And bridges, we can see the bridges, that is two ends are connected and middle portion is free. So such structures are known as bridges. So the two ends are connected to the wall but the middle portion is free. So such structures are known as bridges. Okay, bridges. And pillars. Third is pillars. The pillars are the papillary muscles. We can see pillar like structures. They are the papillary muscles. So in case of right ventricle, there are three papillary muscles can be seen. One is anterior papillary muscle, posterior papillary muscle, then septal papillary muscle. So three papillary muscles can be seen, and the papillary muscles are connected to the valve. So here we can see this is the right atrioventricular orifice. See this diagram, this is the right atrium. So right atrium opens into the right ventricle. This is the opening. Right atrium opens into the right ventricle. This is the right ventricle. So it opens into the right ventricle through an opening that is known as right atrioventricular orifice. So this right atrioventricular orifice or opening is guarded by a valve that is known as tricuspid valve. So this valve has three cusps. Here we can see this is one cusp, this is another cusp, and here this is another cusp. So three cusp: anterior cusp, posterior cusp, and septal cusp. So three cusp can be seen. So it is known as tricuspid valve. Okay. And this cusp is connected to this papillary muscle by tendon-like structures. They are known as chordae tendineae. Cord-like structures which connects the papillary muscle and the flap, cusp of the valve. Okay. And because of this connection, if the papillary muscles will contract, the flap will be going downward and helps in opening of this orifice. Okay, which helps in the opening of the orifice. And through this opening or orifice, the blood will enter into the right ventricle from the right atrium. Blood will passes from the right atrium through this opening, it reaches the right ventricle. So this portion, this is inflowing part, that is blood is flowing inside the ventricle. So this part is known as inflowing part of the right atrium. Inflowing part. So it is rough due to the presence of trabeculae carneae. So trabeculae carneae, they are the ridges, bridges, and papillary muscles seen inside the ventricle. And the upper part, the smooth, and it is known as outflowing part. And outflowing part, we can see the starting point of the pulmonary trunk, which is guarded by another valve, that is semicircular valve, semilunar valve. So here also we can see three cusps for the valve. So this is the pulmonary trunk, and this part is known as infundibulum. The starting point of the pulmonary trunk, it is known as infundibulum. So this is the smooth part, and this is known as conus arteriosus. This area, conus arteriosus. So that's the interior. Here in the right ventricle, this is the anterior papillary muscle. So this anterior papillary muscle, it is connected to the septal wall. This is the septum, interventricular septum. So it is connected to the septal wall by a band that is known as moderate band. This is known as moderate band. Okay. So there is a moderate band which can be seen inside the right ventricle. So these are the features of the right ventricle. Okay. Then next we can see left ventricle. So this is the left ventricle, and here comes the left atrium. Okay. So left ventricle also there is an inflowing part that is rough, and here also we can see the trabeculae carneae, then an outflowing part which is smooth, that is starting point of our aorta. Okay, aorta will start from here. So it also divided to a lower rough portion, that is inflowing part, and outer outflowing part, upper. In this diagram we can see this is the inflowing part, a rough inflowing part of the left ventricle. Okay, here we can see there also there is a orifice which is between the left atrium and the left ventricle. So this is known as left atrioventricular orifice, this opening. It is guarded by a valve that is known as bicuspid valve. Only two cusps can be seen, that is the bicuspid valve, anterior cusp and posterior cusp. The two cusps can be seen. And there is only two papillary muscles, anterior and posterior papillary muscles can be seen. These are the papillary muscles. This is caudate tendineae. So this is bicuspid valve, or it is known as mitral valve, bicuspid or mitral valve. Okay. Then papillary muscles. So this is the inflowing part, and in this picture we can make out this is the outflowing part also. The outflowing part we can see the starting point of the aorta. It is also guarded by semilunar valves. Semilunar valves can be seen. So this is the starting point of aorta. So that's about the left ventricle. So the left ventricle, and this is the left atrium. So interior of the left atrium. This picture we can see this is the left atrium. So in the left atrium we can see there will be 4 pulmonary veins. 2 set of right, 2 set of left pulmonary veins can be seen, left and right. Okay. So total 4 pulmonary veins can be seen, opens into the left atrium. Left atrium. So if we see the interior of the left atrium, so left atrium, almost all interior portion, almost all the top portions are smooth except the left auricle. So inside the left auricle it is rough due to the presence of musculae pectinate. Okay. And here this is the interior of the left atrium, and same like the right atrium there will be a small depression can be seen, that is known as lunate fossa. Lunate fossa. Lunate fossa. There is a depression that is known as lunate fossa can be seen in the left atrium. Left atrium. So that is the left atrium. So I forgot to tell you about the surfaces and borders of the heart. Okay. So heart has 3 surfaces and 4 borders. Okay. It has 3 surfaces and 4 borders. So this is the sternocostal surface or anterior surface of the heart. Then there is an anterior surface. Then there is a left surface. Anterior surface, we can see it is formed by the right atrium, right auricle, right ventricle, and part of the left ventricle, and also the auricle. Okay. Then left surface, it is also formed by the left ventricle and left auricle. Then there is one more surface, that is the inferior surface. This is known as diaphragmatic surface. It rests on the diaphragm. Okay, diaphragmatic surface. Diaphragmatic surface is formed by the right and left ventricles. Right and left ventricles. These are the 3 surfaces. So there is an anterior or sternocostal surface, there is an inferior or diaphragmatic surface, and there is a left surface. So the anterior surface is formed by right atrium, right auricle, right ventricle, left auricle. Okay. Then inferior surface is formed by the, here we can make out towards the end there will be right atrium, and mainly it is formed by the right ventricle, partly by the left ventricle. Inferior surface or diaphragmatic surface. Then left surface, it is formed by the left ventricle and the left auricle. Then coming to the surfaces or borders, there will be 4 borders. There is a superior border, inferior border, right border, and left border. Okay. Superior border, this is the superior border. So mainly it is formed by the right atrium, right ventricle, then left auricle. Okay, so this forms the superior border. Then inferior border is formed by right atrium, right ventricle and left ventricle. Then right border is formed by the right atrium. The left border was almost our surface and border are same, so it is formed by the left auricle and the left ventricle. And heart is conical in shape, so it has an apex which is formed by the left ventricle apex. And base is formed by the left atrium. So this is the inferior surface. This is the posterior surface or base. It is mainly formed by the left atrium. So that is the external features of the heart. Then plus interior features of the chambers.